Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that looks like a massive amount of value for a very tiny price. We're talking about Galaksia Online. Now, before you think this is just another budget indie title, you have to look at what it's trying to do. This is a 2D, pixel art, massively multiplayer space MMORPG that aims to blend retro aesthetics with deep, complex systems. And the best part? It's currently sitting at just $1.59 on Steam. In an era where AAA titles are charging $70 for unfinished experiences, Galaksia Online is coming in as a lightweight, highly ambitious underdog that wants to see if it can capture the magic of old-school space exploration in a modern multiplayer setting. So, what do you actually do once you launch into the stellar sectors? The gameplay loop in Galaksia Online is a satisfying cycle of exploration, resource gathering, and intense combat. You start by navigating through various sectors, discovering new star systems and encountering different environmental hazards. But this isn't a point-and-click adventure, there's a real sense of strategy involved. As you explore, you gather materials and resources necessary for the core pillar of the game, ship customization. Unlike many space games where you just pick from a list of pre-made upgrades, Galaksia uses a block-by-block building system. You aren't just slapping a new engine on a hull, you are literally constructing your starship piece by piece. Once your vessel is flight-ready, the loop shifts into high gear. You'll engage in PvE raids to tackle challenging stellar bosses or jump straight into the massive, faction-based PvP wars that define the multiplayer experience. It's a constant push to build better, fly further, and defend your territory against other players. There are two things that really set Galaksia Online apart from the crowd. First, that block-based shipbuilding. It adds a layer of creative sandbox to the RPG progression. Your ship becomes a true reflection of your playstyle. Do you build a fast, fragile scout for exploration, or a heavy, armored dreadnought designed for faction warfare? The second standout feature is the scale of the conflict. The game leans heavily into its MMORPG roots by offering massive faction-based PvP. We're talking about large-scale battles where alliances matter. You aren't just fighting solo, you're part of a larger political and military machine. This creates a dynamic galaxy where certain sectors might be under siege or controlled by a dominant faction, making every jump through hyperspace feel like a calculated risk. So, who should actually hit that buy button? If you are a fan of retro-style pixel art and miss the era of classic 2D MMOs, this is going to feel like home. It's perfect for the casual player who wants to cruise through space and build cool ships without a massive time commitment, but it also offers enough depth for the hardcore strategist who wants to lead a faction into battle. If you love games like Starbound or even the more complex space sims but want something that runs on a potato and costs less than a cup of coffee, Galaksia Online is calling your name. To wrap things up, is Galaksia Online worth your time? At $1.59, the barrier to entry is practically non-existent. Even if you only play for a few hours, you've gotten your money's worth. But if the shipbuilding and faction wars hook you, you've found a potentially massive new hobby for the price of a snack. It's an ambitious, beautiful, and highly accessible indie title that proves you don't need a massive budget to aim for the stars. My verdict? Grab it while it's this cheap and get out there into the void.